Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics companies vidIQ has certified Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in the LGBTQ community. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Thursday, July 24th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ community.
Our mission, nonprofit mission, is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate on the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present Pride Fest in August, and we declare that love is in the air with Pride Fort Lauderdale on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Our magazine, events, television news, and talk and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voices as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Brian Bender. Brian Bender is a lifelong South Floridian, Broward County teacher, community volunteer and leader, and a proud member of the Dolphin Democrats. Brian, Brévo Theater brings High School Musical to life in Pompano on August 2nd. Tell me, what's happening out?
Well, on Saturday, August 2nd, Brévo Theater will bring Disney Channel's beloved High School Musical to the stage at the Pompano Beach Library and Cultural Center. With performances scheduled for 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., the event promises to enchant audiences of all ages. The live musical will follow Troy, Gabriella, and the students of East High as they navigate friendships, first love, and high school pressure. As students return from their winter breaks, their cliques reform and routines resume until Troy, a basketball star, and Gabriella, a new brainy student, break the mold by auditioning for the school musical. Directed by Brévo Theater, this production will spotlight emerging local talent and reimagine the iconic songs and the scenes that made the movie a fan favorite. Tickets and additional information are available at brevotheater.org. I am so excited for this opportunity to see the show. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be available for that. It is my birthday, big 38. But I hope that there's going to be like some videotaping. I hope, somebody's going to have their phone out and, record it, or maybe there's going to be a, professional videographer there. Maybe there's going to be, some opportunity to see it again.
I mean, I love local theater, and this is, everybody remembers it, and it takes you back to a slightly more innocent time for some of us. And I love a musical, because I'm a theater geek at heart. But I love the fact that this is an opportunity to see a beloved movie, con musical, come to a local theater. So I think everybody should get out there and support for sure.
For sure. For sure.
Well, Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Brévo Theater for High School Musical on August 2nd. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome Gregg Shapiro, an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ publications and websites. Gregg outshine's Cocktails and Cinema screening of Sandbag Dam will be on July 31st. Tell me, what's happening out?
Paradigm Cinemas, Gateway, Fort Lauderdale, will host Outshine's Cocktails and Cinema, Sandbag Dam, on Thursday, July 31st, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Film lovers will gather for an emotional cinematic journey followed by an hour of free cocktails, a signature perk of the official Cocktails and Cinema series. The screening will feature Sandbag Dam, directed by Shane Chernik-Chanak, a coming-of-age story set in a Croatian village on the brink of disaster. Viewers will meet Marko, a gifted young athlete torn between loyalty to family, a sports tournament, and his buried feelings for his first love, Slaven. As floodwaters rise and the village rushes to build sandbag dams, Marko is forced to confront a storm within himself. Audiences can expect a deeply moving film, followed by drinks and discussion with fellow attendees. For more details, visit OutshineFilm.com. Well, you can always count on the folks at Outshine Film Festival to select worthwhile cinematic screenings for their various events in South Florida, and Sandbag Dam sounds like another excellent example.
I mean, I love the fact that it's, set in Croatia, but it's definitely things that we've all dealt with, coming out and also, what I really love about Outshine is they also involve a lot of the other communities. So if you happen to get to the movie early, I will actually be there with my organization telling people about us. We're supporting Sandbag Dam. So I'll be there already at the movie. So you can come talk to me about Lentera. Then we can talk about the movie afterwards, because I will definitely be staying around for the cocktails. But again, I love the fact that it's, film set with, LGBT stories, maybe from another country, but we all can relate to it. So,
and there's discussion before and after, which makes it more engaging for people to participate and interact. Right.
Absolutely. Sure. So we look forward to you at Queer News Tonight and seeing you at Outshine Cocktails and Cinema screening of Sandbag Dam on July 31st. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Von Biggs. He is a community engagement and outreach coordinator at Holy Cross Health, a vice chair of the Ryan White Part A Planning Council, and a board member of TransEd and Harmony Waves. Von, Holy Cross Silver Pride Connection to uplift LGBTQ plus seniors every second Friday. You will be hosting the upcoming Silver Pride on August 8th. Tell me, what's happening out?
That's right, Rex. Holy Cross Health has launched Silver Pride Connection, a monthly support group for LGBTQ plus adults aged 50 and above. Starting this year at the Holy Cross Family Health Center in Oakland Park, meetings take place every second Friday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. in the Mangrove Education Room with lunch provided. The upcoming meeting will be on August 8th. Rooted in Holy Cross's health mission of justice, reverence, and integrity, Silver Pride Connection will guide participants through quarterly themes such as health equity, grief and legacy, aging with dignity, and building chosen family. Through storytelling, workshops, and shared experiences, attendees will reclaim their narratives and find strength in community. Registration is required to participate in these meetings. Interested individuals can visit holy-cross.com or contact me at von.biggs@holy-cross.com for more details. This is a great opportunity. I know I've talked a lot about our aging community, specifically our aging community that are dealing with chronic health issues. Because once our LGBTQ, I hate to say the word seniors, because it's just like, I'm one of those, right?
You said 50 plus, I'm already there.
Right, I know. But so many of them, they become isolated because one, they've lost maybe family, or they never had a really bio family that they connected with. And their partners or loved ones have passed on. And so when that happens and major health care happens as an issue with them, they become isolated and they stop coming out and they stop socializing. So this is a way for them and a way to engage in conversation, but not like deep, heavy conversation. We're not like, let's talk about wills and go through the detail, but just overviews of different things that we should be looking at and how to advocate for their health care.
Well, and I think, I did find it interesting. It was 50 plus because I'm like, oh, I'm not. That's the blue light. That's below the blue light special. But it's interesting to me because a lot of us, kind of in that early 50s range, we don't think of aging. Still, we still have this kind of young at heart mentality, and anything could happen at you at any time. And especially if you're single, or like you said, you have kind of this chosen family that they're starting to, because a lot of my friends are kind of my age and 10 years older or 10 years younger. So you do get that kind of, span. And then you don't start thinking about those things. Like, I'm like, oh, I still have to think about a plan, 4 wheels and those types of things. But also finding people who have gone through, some of those struggles that, I may or may not have gone through, and finding, support in friendship. So.
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love the way the South Florida LGBTQ community embraces and values the seniors in its midst. I, for one, am grateful. Thank you.
And it's a great community centerpiece. It gives people, an opportunity to get out and schmooze a little bit. It gives people, that maybe didn't have a full calendar, to get out and have something fun to do and, meet people in the same age range and the same bracket and, that are maybe, contemplating the same, questions at the same, at the same junctures in their life. It's a really great, it's a really great thing, and I really commend your organization for doing that. And I just want to say kudos to you and thank you for what you're doing for the community. Because if it wasn't for community organizations that were doing this type of work, there would be a really big void in the community for that. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I will RSVP for my free lunch and Queer News Tonight. Looks forward to seeing you at Holy Cross Silver Pride Connection on the second Friday of each month. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Rex Rogosch. Rex is a visionary designer with over 30 years of experience in product design and interior design and architecture. Also known in the drag community as International Lords, Rex recently returned to performing. As president and co-founder of Lantera, he champions mental health awareness through vibrant, inclusive events. Rex, the Bears of South Florida August pool party tickets drop on July 26th. Tell me, what's happening out?
Absolutely, Brian. The hottest summer event is making a splash again. Tickets for the much-anticipated Bears of South Florida August pool party will go on sale this Saturday, July 26th at 10 a.m. The event will take place on Saturday, August 9th from noon to 4 p.m. at Solstice at Wilton in Wilton Manors. Attendees can look forward to a fun-filled afternoon with poolside vibes, delicious food, a full cash bar, and an exciting 50-50 raffle. The pool party is expected to sell out quickly as only a limited number of tickets will be available. Organizers encourage guests to grab their spots early by purchasing tickets online at BOSFL.org. The event promises a perfect blend of sun, fun, and community. So mark the date, get your swimsuits ready, and don't miss this summer's highlight in Wilton Manors. I mean, pool party, that's all you had to say. Food, there you go. And bears, oh my.
And don't forget the raffle.
I mean, I stopped listening at Bears. I mean, that's where I stopped.
Are they raffling off a bear?
I'm getting my tickets now. I'm getting my tickets now. The Bears of South Florida are a great organization. It's always a good time with them. And what's really great is they are very inclusive. A lot of my friends are part of the organization, and they don't care what size you are, what color you are. They just want you to come and have fun. So get your tickets now and have a great time to end the summer. Because Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the Bears of South Florida's August pool party. Tickets become available from July 26th. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Rex Rogosch, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Florida judge reinstates official suspended over anti-LGBTQ remarks on Pulse shooting. A Florida judge has put Groveland City Councilwoman Judith Fink back in office. She had been suspended by her fellow council members after an old social media post came to light. Many people saw the post as mocking the victims of the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting. The suspension followed by public outcry over a Facebook post Fink made before taking office. The post read, quote, "Duh, why would the shooter target a gay club? My answer, Easier than marching them up steps to push off the roof. Some sarcasm, some truth." End quote. A reference many found deeply offensive. The 2016 Pulse shooting left 49 people dead at a gay nightclub in Orlando and remains one of the deadliest attacks on the LGBTQ community in U.S. history. Fike argued that post was misunderstood and it was meant as a support of the community. She claimed she was referencing the persecution of LGBTQ people by ISIS, who were known to execute victims by throwing them from rooftops. The same group Pulse shooter Omar Mateen claimed allegiance to. Despite all this, Florida Circuit Judge Dan Morley has ruled in her favor, writing that there is a likelihood of irreparable harm if Fike were kept from voting on council matters. He added that there is a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. Attorney Anthony Sabatini, representing Fike, announced on social media, quote, "My client, Groveland City Council member Judy Fike, has been reinstated. Huge win," end quote. While the case is still ongoing, Fike will return to her council duties and continue her re-election campaign. Groveland, where she serves, is located just 30 miles from the Pulse nightclub, a fact that continues to weigh heavily for many LGBTQ Floridians. There was no misunderstanding. I mean, what I read was very clear. And honestly, like, I don't understand the judge's rulings. Like, she's a city council member. What could she be voting on that is so detrimental to the community that somebody else couldn't? You know, let it set and she was voted out by her peers.
That's what I was going to say. She was voted out in a legal proceeding by her peers. It wasn't as though, it was uncity constitutional, however you want to legally word that. It wasn't against the law to have her voted out. It was obviously they followed the rules. She was voted out and then a judge put her back into office. I don't understand how that is supporting the community. I think what she said was disgusting. I think it was tone deaf. I think she needed, as they say, read the room, Karen, and she didn't read the room. That was disgusting.
I mean, it's more than that, just reading the room. I mean, what she said, it doesn't matter if it was the Pulse nightclub shooting. I don't care if it was the shooting in Vegas, if it was a school shooting. Like, what she said was just gross in general.
In general, for sure.
And it's
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that she was making some argument for the gay community.
Because she said sarcasm. The way she ended it said sarcasm or truth. Like she's like she knew what she was saying.
She's grotesque.
And she knew what she was doing. And I just don't understand how the judge can think that a councilwoman needs to be there to vote on are we painting the sidewalks today?
Well, obviously she doesn't know any gay people. Did you see her hair? And this is just another insult to Florida's LGBTQ community. Let's see if Fike will be able to keep her fiking mouth shut after this, or just feel emboldened to say more stupid and hateful shit.
Well, and she's up for re-election too. So let's get out there. People in that area, or if you know people in that area, make sure that put your vote to where it counts and make sure that she doesn't show back up on the council.
And I'm going to say that's an important point, because as we know, elections are going to be coming up and things like that, is those local elections are just as important.
They matter.
As the big one. They do matter.
They matter.
So pay attention.
I'd like to see her put her money where her mouth is, figuratively, and I'd like to see her, if she was supporting the gay community, like she says she was, I'd love to see her march in a gay parade. I'd love to see her march in a pride parade, or I'd love to see her put, something that really shows her support for the gay community in a way that doesn't make us have to read between the lines or say, hey, what did she mean by that? Like, let her be really, let her be very explicit with her support for the gay community. If that's what she was trying to do, I don't want to have to read the tea leaves there. So if that's what she was doing, then let her, put a pride flag in her office. Let her, put a bumper sticker on her car.
Because put your money where your mouth is.
Because I doubt that that's really what she.
Absolutely.
I doubt that that's what she was really doing with that statement. For sure.
Without a doubt. So that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into the world of gay news. Let's queer up entertainment. Backstreet Boys go viral with a campy airline safety video. The Backstreet Boys are back, this time not on the stage, but at 30,000 feet, reimagining airline safety with signature flair and humor. On July 17th, 2025, the iconic boy band released BSB Air, a parody airline safety video that instantly took off across YouTube, Instagram, and the TikTok. The video opens with a cheerful hello and welcome to BSB Air, and only gets cheekier from there. The boys walk fans through the usual safety instruction, but with a twist. They joke, make sure all cell phones are on airplane mode unless you're listening to me. And when it comes to emergencies, they quip, we've been through worse. For the LGBTQ plus fans, this campy, over-the-top parody hits just right. Full of inside jokes, playful nods to Vegas party culture, and the band's effortless chemistry, the video blends nostalgia with reinvention. The camp and camaraderie echo the joy of queer humor and drag culture. It's not just about safety, it's about fun, visibility, and letting loose. For fans old and new, the Backstreet Boys have once again proven that joy, laughter, and fabulousness never go out of style. Let's take a look.
Your attention, please.
Hello, and welcome to BSB Air. We know you didn't come here for a flight safety demo, but trust us, you're gonna love this one.
And now it's time to get everybody ready for takeoff.
In case of a sudden drop of cabin pressure, don't worry, we've been through worse. These masks will drop. Make sure you secure your own mask before helping others, like this guy.
Help. Now, don't forget to fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal clip into the lock like this. To unlock your, do like that. Don't forget safety first.
Your life vest is located underneath your seat. Obviously, we don't have any seats, so we gotta pretend. In case of an emergency, we land in the water, pull the red towel. Obviously, pull it after you have exited the aircraft.
Smoke, including vapes, is not allowed at any time in the air or on the ground or in the terminal. Anywhere at all, nowhere at all. Why do you always test me?
For everything we just said, and a lot more that we didn't, check the safety card in your seat back pocket. There's also an air sickness bag in there in case you went a little too hard last night here in Las Vegas.
Make sure your tray table is stowed.
Your carry-on is stowed under the seat in front of you.
Make sure all cell phones are on airplane mode unless you're listening to Millennium.
We are cleared for takeoff.
See you at Spirit.
All I have to say is I would totally be stoked if I saw that on a flight from Vegas or anywhere, to be quite honest. And those guys, they could give me a lesson on like where the safety exits are. They could show me where to find my emergency mask, they could help me put on my emergency mask before, anybody else.
I mean, Kevin was looking like the white Snoop Doggy Dog in that video.
It's fine with me, just the camp factor. It was a lot of fun watching that. For sure.
I mean, again, they've been around for some of us since we were children.
I was a child. I like them a lot.
And it's great to see them, still, going out there and being the entertainers that they are. And it is what it is. It is a camp video just to make us laugh, which we all need at this moment.
Now, did he say queered for takeoff or cleared for takeoff? I wasn't clear. And where's my air sickness?
I mean,
bag?
you heard what you heard. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Gregg Shapiro, and let's queer up gay culture. Pornhub reports almost half of gay porn viewers are women, and that matters. New numbers from Pornhub are sparking fresh conversations about who's really watching gay male porn and why. According to the platform's annual Pride Insights report, 47% of viewers of gay male porn on Pornhub are women. That stat might surprise some, but it's not exactly new. Pornhub first noticed the trend back in 2014, and by 2015, confirmed that gay male content was the second most watched category among women. So what's driving the interest? Academic Lucy Neville has some answers. In her 2018 book, Girls Who Like Boys Who Like Boys, she surveyed more than 500 women and found that many were simply drawn to watching men. Neville wrote, quote, "A good number, like looking at naked men," end quote. But it goes deeper than attraction. Neville explained that gay male porn often flips the script on the traditional male gaze in straight porn, where content is built for heterosexual men. For straight women and queer women alike, gay porn can offer a more comfortable viewing experience that doesn't objectify female bodies. She also noted its importance for trauma survivors. Neville added, quote, "It's one of the few types of sexually explicit media they can enjoy without feeling triggered or re-traumatized," end quote. With young adults aged 18 to 24 making up the largest group of viewers, Pornhub's findings shed light on changing habits and a growing desire for safe, inclusive, and affirming content in adult media. Well, I'm triggered and traumatized just thinking about women watching gay porn. I worry that with all the tricks of the trade they'll learn from watching, before you know it, they're going to steal our menfolk.
I didn't know that I had so much in common with straight women, but I guess I do, and I love it. That's really cool, kind of, I guess, now that I think about it.
It was interesting, though, that they quote that the age range is from 18 to 24. So it's a lot of people, it's people who are, still figuring out their identities and stuff like that. It's not mature women, so who have already gone and, made their rounds around the block, so to say. And it also was interesting that they said, that it's not objectifying women. So, I mean, while that is true, and it's been a long time since I've watched straight porn, I just find porn in general objectifying whomever, at least one person in the genre, unless you're watching, homemade, situations. Most porn has, a positive and a negative side, top and bottom, whatever. So there's always some objectification. So I don't know. I find that odd that that's the reason why that we're not objectifying women in this, so we're going to watch two men do things that male and women typically don't do. The logic seems fuzzy to me. Very fuzzy.
Like a hairy chest.
I guess because women are typically the ones that are objectified. I guess like the story says, they're flipping the script on women being objectified, and because women are usually the ones objectified, a man is being objectified, so it's not as common. I guess it's the lesser of two quote unquote evils.
I mean, there's a million types of porn out there, to be honest with you, and not all porn is about objectifying a woman. I mean, a lot of times it's about the woman being the dominant player. I mean, so they're really just kind of focusing on some very small sectors.
Do you think that all pornography, though, is inherently an objectification of somebody?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's just a question.
Yeah, no, because, I mean, again, we're all attracted and turned on by so many different things. And porn is, to me, an exploration of all of those things, regardless if we're doing it or not. There are desires that people, want to try something or are interested by something, so they turn to porn to see, hey, is this something that really does turn me on before I actually go and try it? Yes, is there some objectification in some of the porn? Absolutely, but some people actually get turned on by that. So I just think porn in general, I mean, prostitution and porn is the oldest living profession out there. Sex in general is something that most of us do, I should say, not all of us, because there are those spectrums. So it's just really kind of an amplification of what already happens, either in public or behind closed doors. So it's interesting, and it's an interesting topic, but I think some of it is a little bit narrowed. In my opinion, for what they're saying. So
I just have to say, when it's straight porn, it's just bad acting. It is.
Yeah. I mean, gay porn's not any better acting.
Maybe, but yeah.
Where's that script supervisor?
We're not winning any Emmys tomorrow. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing and subscribing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Von Biggs, and let's queer up health. Sperm, lies, and tight underwear. What really affects male fertility? Infertility isn't just a woman's issue, and it's time we start saying that out loud. In the United States, infertility is typically diagnosed when a couple has been trying to conceive for at least a year with no success. While it's often assumed to be due to the female partner, experts say that's only part of the picture. Dr. Lucky Second, a board-certified OBGYN and fertility specialist in New York City, says the biggest myth is that infertility is a woman's problem. In fact, nearly 50% of all infertility cases involve male factors. And in about a third of cases, the cause lies entirely with the man. So what's really behind the male infertility, and what's just a myth? Let's start with underwear. Many believe tight briefs can hurt sperm count, while tighter underwear may slightly increase growing temperature. Second explains, quote, I don't think there's any strong evidence that choice of underwear is going to influence male fertility in a strong way, end quote. What about age? Men may make sperm for life, but that doesn't mean sperm quality holds steady. According to the studies, for men, this kicks in around 45 and is more pronounced in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. And no, your phone in your pocket or laptop on your lap probably isn't the culprit. Studies on this are not conclusive. So by and large, that is more of a myth. And don't worry, frequent ejaculation won't drain your chances. In fact, going too long without can result in sperm with fragmented DNA. But here's one surprise. Testosterone supplements, often marketed for male health, may do more harm than good. Second warns that testosterone is more or less like the form of male birth control. So what can lower sperm quality? Age, smoking, cannabis use, heavy drinking, and obesity, but also factors such as poor sleep and hormone imbalances. Even medical conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and STIs may impact sperm health. The good news, many of these factors are manageable if one eats well, exercises, manages stress, and gets enough sleep. For LGBTQ families considering surrogacy or sperm donation, understanding male fertility is key. So let's be real. Okay, in our community, and I'm talking about the gay community, right? Body image and presentation are often part of the culture. Whether you're flaunting a chiseled six-pack or just love the way those padded briefs make your booty pop, it's all about confidence. And while those perfectly contoured undies might not be FDA-approved fertility gear, they're also not the fertility villains that they've been made out to be. But here's the tea. While your underwear drawer might be safe, your lifestyle still matters. Smoking, poor diet, lack of sleep, and stress. Those are the real culprits when it comes to sperm health. So if you're thinking about fatherhood, whether through surrogacy, co-parenting, or donation, start with self-care, not a wardrobe overhaul. So go ahead, strut your stuff, serve the looks, and know that being fabulous and fertile aren't mutually exclusive. And I say that only because you think of our Hotspots magazine when they do the covers. All those beautiful men in the tight underwear are models that do that. That's not the issue. So continue to do that. We like to see it.
So age, high blood pressure, diabetes, STIs, that explains the Trump brood? That explains this? Just, yes.
I mean, this is all definitely, very important to talk about, because there are a lot of the LGBTQ population that is looking at becoming parents, co-parents, and fatherhood. And so, while it's not as easy as, our heterosexual partners to go and get pregnant, because I've been trying for the past 50 years and it doesn't work. We need to start talking about, health in general. Right. And so, bringing these type of topics up and breaking those taboos is definitely important. And you should always go and talk to your medical professionals on a regular basis. And, and if you are looking at becoming a father or a family, there are tests, and go get tested regularly. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Rex Rogosch, and let's clear up the worldview. French President Macron sues Candace Owens over accusations of trans wife. French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron are fighting back, this time in an American courtroom. The couple has filed a defamation lawsuit in Delaware's Superior Court against U.S. right-wing commentator Candace Owens. They allege Owens launched what they called a campaign of global humiliation by falsely claiming that Brigitte Macron, age 72, is a transgender woman and that President Macron, 47, is part of a CIA mind control experiment. The 218-page complaint accuses Owens of using her massive online presence, including her podcast and social media platforms, to spread knowingly false and transphobic conspiracy theories for profit. The lawsuit demands both compensatory and punitive damages and requests a jury trial. At the heart of the lawsuit is Owens' 8-part YouTube series, Becoming Brigitte. In the video, Owens claims that Brigitte was assigned male at birth and given the name Jean-Michel Troyou, and Owens also alleges the Macrons are blood relatives and that President Macron is a product of the CIA's discredited MK-Ultra human experimentation program. The lawsuit calls these claims invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. Attorney Thomas Clare, representing the Macrons, told the Financial Times that the couple is ready to travel to Delaware to testify as they believe it's important to stand up for themselves. Clare says the Owens had multiple opportunities to do the right thing, but she has only mocked them. The Macrons' legal team also revealed that Owens ignored multiple cease and desist letters. The lawsuit filing reads, quote, Owens has dissected their appearance, their marriage, their friends, their family, and their personal history, twisting it all into grotesque narrative designed to inflame and degrade, end quote. Owens, who has a history of spreading misinformation about transgender and LGBTQ communities, has not formally responded in court but said she would address the lawsuits on her podcast. This isn't Brigitte Macron's first time in court over false transphobic claims. Last year, a French court briefly ruled in her favor, awarding her nearly $9,000 in damages, but the decision was later overturned. So, I have two sides to this. One, it's none of your business, woman, period. I mean, yes, they are people, figureheads, and unfortunately their business is public, but it's none of your business, woman. So why are you doing this? You know, do you have nothing better to do? Obviously not. Now, I'm glad the Macrons have stood up. They've taken her to court. So, you know, we'll see what the justice system prevails, especially, unfortunately, here in the United States, with our current justice system, you know, and how that goes. However, it doesn't matter if she's transgender or not. No. Does that affect how her husband or her do and go about their public or governmental business? No. So mind your business, woman.
It all just seems very, I agree with everything that you're saying. It doesn't matter whether or not Brigitte is transgendered or not. She maintains that she's not. I don't know her history like that. I'm not an expert on whether or not she is or she isn't. It all just seems very mean-spirited. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think the way that Candace runs her show and runs her life and runs her media business is, this is for the people to know. This is, you know, it's in the name of investigative journalism. I'm all for investigative journalism. But, you know, I really believe that she crosses a line, and it's always about just, you know, putting one toe over the line, then she puts a foot over the line, then she puts a leg over the line, and then she's, you know, just doing like a whole victory dance over the line. And it just gets to the point where how much of this is just trying to incite a mob against this person, this, you know, the First Lady of France, and how much of this is really for the sake of investigative journalism?
Well, weren't Republicans always saying things about Michelle Obama, too?
Yeah, you're right.
This is that, and Candace strikes me as the kind of person, very sad, very desperate, didn't get enough attention or affection when she was young, and will seemingly do anything to get people to notice her. Oh, we've noticed you, all right. We're keeping track.
I mean, I think that's, you know, we talk about, you know, what is media, what is investigative journalism, and what's hate speech. What's, you know, if you're inciting, you know, people to come to terms and raise up arms. Like, what is the point of saying somebody is transgender? What is the point of saying that he was part of some CIA cover-up? Like, what are you getting out of this? I mean, yes, she's getting money, obviously, because people are subscribing to her podcast. And those people need to be looked at too, because they're just as crazy as she is. But, again, we talk about, we look at stuff that's happening now in our media and people's shows getting canceled and people's, getting taken off the air for suspectively no reason, but yet we still have things like this happening. So where do we draw the line? What is media? What is hate speech? What's investigate? What's journalism?
She's not only, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds with this with her, because, she goes down a lot of different rabbit holes with this, but she's not only saying that the First Lady of France is transgendered, but she's saying that the powers that control the world put Emmanuel Macron in power, knowing full well that Brigitte Macron was transgendered, because they serve some kind of nefarious agenda that has to put a transgendered person into the halls of power to serve their dark agenda on religious grounds, because they have some kind of crazy world. It's all just crazy.
It's crazy because she doesn't have any power. She's the First Lady.
Exactly. So it's this whole worldview that, that there are these dark forces, evil forces running the world that are invested in making sure that this secret never gets out. And now that it's out, they have to, wrestle, Candace Owens. It's crazy, and it's upsetting, for transgendered people and for the general public that don't want to see this.
The forces of the world put the Mango Mussolini into power.
So, exactly,
that's the dark forces.
That's
of the world.
for sure.
And the only agenda that's nefarious is Candace's.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
I agree.
Pick on somebody your own size
in your own country.
In your own country.
Right.
And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBT community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Rex Rogosch, and I want to wish you a fabulous evening on behalf of these LGBTQ reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Brian Bender, Gregg Shapiro, and Vaughn Biggs. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ world, we hope you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, be transformative, and queer. Good night.
Good night.